Hello guys, how you doing? So this is one of the most genuine videos that I'll probably ever make in a while. As you can see, all the lights are turned off. I was about to sleep actually, and I got a bit emotional, had a breakdown actually. I was crying. Not even remembered my mother passed by, passed away about 7 months ago, but I found myself really talking a lot by myself to myself. I'm alone in the house, I'm alone in the room, and I think the time should be about 9:30 p.m. I'm sleeping a bit early today as I have exams tomorrow. If being honest, I haven't prepared a lot, I haven't prepared much. Haven't prepared much at all. I There's a chance I fail the exams, there's a chance I pass the exams. But nevertheless, I'd say I'm confident. I have to be confident. I have to have a positive energy. Nevertheless, despite of the doubt, despite of the negative energy that sometimes wants to get in, but always have to fight it back and make sure that I keep it away from me. So the reason why I've made this video is I was going through my history for the past few years. I don't know how I got to it, but I think it's very interesting to, you know, somehow say it on camera. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good at the end of the day, but I think it's a very good way to. I think this channel, since the get-go, I've made it for a very particular reason, which is I'm about to cry. I'm not gonna lie. I've made this channel for a very particular reason, which is my ability to speak freely. Not about freely, I'm not the guy who has any controversial opinions or any weird takes or dangerous takes, none of that. But more of being authentically who I am, talking about what I feel, being sad, being happy, being authentic, being just real, as I haven't had that in previous YouTube channels before. And that was something that I really wanted to correct with this channel is I make a channel where I can make videos like this to open up. Maybe it's not the right word, but pretty much open up and be honest and just show, almost like open my heart to myself before everyone and to other people as well. So let me start. I was actually talking to myself here and I was saying the exact things I'm gonna be saying right now. But I have stopped midway. I said I should probably get my my camera, my equipment, and film. Well, it's not some fancy equipment. It's an Osmo Pocket 3 and a DJI Mic Mini 2, which are very small cameras, very small microphone that was next to me, like 1 or 2 meters away from my bed. I'm in my bed right now. But let us get started actually. So it's crazy how. So the reason why I was actually talking about this is because when my mother died about 7 months ago, I really thought that I would be way better off right now. I really thought that in the next 6 months after my mother's death, I'll explode. I will really explode, make results and buy this camera that I'm filming with and do a lot of things, right? I have very high hopes, which was reasonable to the mind and logically valid actually. But nevertheless, I really find out that pretty much nothing changed in 7 months. Um, yes, I have bought the camera, but really I haven't changed that much. I'd say almost as if the things that I thought would be done in 2 months, I haven't even finished. And it's been 7 months since my mother died, which is quite surprising. It's almost, well, when I was talking to myself, I thought so much about finding the right word to explain it. And I said, it's almost disappointing. It's almost disappointing that I really thought that I would be in a way better position. But I'm generally not. And when I was thinking with myself about 5 minutes ago, I realized that, well, actually, that's not the first time that has happened to me. And a lot of the times, it actually happens a lot to me, like in my life in the past few years. In the past 5 years, I was thinking even that, so for context, even if this is more to myself, and maybe if I'm talking to myself, I shouldn't even give a lot of context, but nevertheless, as I'm filming this, I'm pretty sure I'll upload it, so you're watching this right now. I'll give you context. So about in 2021, it was the first time I really tried my best. Okay, let's give even more context, because this is what really I was talking to myself. Wallahi, I swear to God, this is exactly what I was saying to myself. When I was young, I thought that when I'll be 16 years old, I'll be in the mountains, I'll be in the forests, exploring the world, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Not necessarily exploring the world, but doing like wildlife life adventures, right? Like Bear Grylls and whatever. I was really inspired by that. I really loved nature growing up, and I had a very big nature in me for some reason. I always just loved nature. It's almost as if I loved hunting and survival and all of that since I was young. I thought that at the age of 16, I'll be able to do that. But that didn't happen. So at the age of 16, I was barely going out of the house, making a couple videos, doing challenges where I cut my hair or I sleep in my garden, or nothing really risky at all. But you could say it was because of due to I had a mother back then. She's now dead, but and it was one of the reasons why I really wanted to almost be separated from her, from my mother. At a very young age, I said there's a possibility and a chance where I can even be more, almost as if free, or I can do more wild adventures and live the life that I really wanted. Nevertheless, at the age of 14, 15, I thought that when I would be 17, 18, I'll be a millionaire, actually. I really believed that. I really thought that. And I was very sure of myself. I started reading books like The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and pretty sure like The 7 Habits of the Most Highly Effective People at a very young age. Maybe 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. And I really thought that at 18, maximum 20, I'll be a millionaire. At 18, I couldn't even be further away from that. I tried at 18, and I made a couple videos, but it failed. It all failed, actually. It felt so horrible. I failed at my YouTube, and that's my main thing. So I failed at that, and I lost my house at the time. I lost my house. I lost half of my family. I lost my house, half of my family, and I lost my educational career for that year as well. So I lost my educational career. I lost my friends. I lost my prayers, my 5 daily prayers, my religion, my everything. And it's always like all this is related to hope and expectations as well. So a bit after, I'd say, so this was 2021. Going through 2022 at the beginning, I really had high hopes as well. I said, I said, I said, I said I'm opening an English YouTube channel, which I thought it will skyrocket and I'll make a lot of money and I'll succeed with that. But that also couldn't be further away from the truth as well. As I have filmed a few videos, but they all flopped so horribly. Got maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 views. Couldn't be further away. It's really barely anything. It's barely enough to say I made a video, and obviously couldn't be barely enough to be monetized or make YouTube video, YouTube monetization channels, whatever. So I said, well, that couldn't work. Entertainment couldn't work. So I said, I'm gonna open another YouTube channel in English, which is gaming, actually. Well, I thought that gaming I could have had a better chance, but really I figured out that the problem, or my problem at the time, was consistency. I thought that, or I figured while thinking about why have I failed at the moment, I said that the main reason was consistency. I couldn't be consistent. I could make good videos, but I couldn't do them on a consistent basis. So I realized that I flopped it, and I should have started with consistency, then made the bangers with being consistent instead of the opposite. But anyway, this is more of like the nitty gritty, whatever side of it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna be consistent. So I made a new channel. It was a gaming YouTube channel, and I made 14 videos in 1 month. And the videos were getting 4 views, which was also very disappointing. At the time, I figured that gaming also is not for me, as my computer is horrible. I can't play games, and I definitely cannot even film with it. The quality is shit anyway, and so it's really hard to film gaming videos, and the quality was shit as well at that moment. I had a big problem with my eyebrows, as I have a unibrow. So at the moment, because I was really insecure, I was taking my unibrow, my middle part, and that gave me a huge insecurity at the moment. This was the first few months in 2022. Then I stopped making the gaming YouTube channels. 6 months further in 2022, I realized that I have been isolated from the world for a while, and I have lost everything. And by everything, I mean what I've mentioned earlier: my friends, my religion, my 5 daily prayers, my almost as if my life, but I wouldn't choose such a broad word. But I've lost half of my family. I've lost my house. I've lost my YouTube channel. I've lost my educational career. So I realized that I've lost my friends. So I realized that I have to socialize a bit. So I was socializing with the people in the area, knowing a couple of people here that live here. They were not the best. They were not good influence at all, but each was better than nothing. I also got into acting theater workshop. I was there for a couple months or so. I've tried one last chance, one last dance at the English YouTube channel with one banger video. It flopped so horribly, and I realized that that was the end of whatever journey I was in. Well, it was the journey of YouTube. I realized that I really thought that it was the end of my YouTube career and I'll never make YouTube videos ever again. I really did. And then I turned 19 at that moment. It's crazy how that felt like yesterday, but it was like 4 years ago. Then I got into nursing university. I applied as a last hope and everything. And this time I said, hey, YouTube doesn't work, and I have came from a big failure in my life, big loss. So I shouldn't fuck it up again. So really all what I did was nursing university at that moment. So first semester, second semester, and I failed again in nursing university. It was a big hit. It hurt. So this from now, and I'm continuing this, I haven't thought with myself. All of the things that I've said so far, I thought I was talking to myself. I was saying the story to myself, talking with myself. And this is the point where I have stopped and I said, I have to get the camera and film this and the microphone. So this is all related to hopes, that every time I thought that would be way better. So at the beginning of the nursing university journey, I really thought that at the end I will be, I could say I'll be better. Almost as at that moment I said I'm gonna have a normal life, which is such a, well, for an adult, I'd say for me now as an adult, I see how that was a big coping mechanism of mine. I'd say that, well, it's gonna be all what I want is to live a normal life with normal people in a normal life, whatever. It was a big sentence that I was repeating. It's like a mantra. Very it's not recommended, definitely. Well, now I'm reading books. I realize that indifference is one of the major reasons of failure in life. But anyway, at the beginning of my nursing university journey, I really thought that, I will have a very successful student life, university student life, and really try to be the best at that. I always had this belief that I'll be better and the future will be better. But anyway, nevertheless, I always thought that, maybe what I have to do is live a normal life. It's a destructive mindset. So that was definitely wrong, and I learned it the hard way. Well, obviously, you shouldn't think like that. You should think as, I am different. I don't want to be normal. I want exceptional results, so it's fine to be the exception. I'll have to be the exception in the world. If everyone's going right and I'm going left, it's fine, because I don't want what they want. But nevertheless, at the end of the first year in nursing university, nursing college, whatever you want to call it, I have lost again. And I couldn't lie. It was further from the truth to say it was a normal hit. It was an abnormal hit. It was a very fucking killing me, my mother, at the time, and it was harsh. It was a big hit. 3 months later, 3 months of almost coping and suffering, found shelter in religion in that summer, actually. Very negativity, I was buried in negativity, and it's almost as if I'm hanging on a rope. So when I thought that things couldn't be worse, it got worse, and my mother got diagnosed by cancer, multiple myeloma cancer. Interesting enough, and this I thought about it like half an hour ago, 1 hour ago, maybe like 45 minutes ago, maybe less, but anyway. So my mother has got the cancer at that moment, and surprisingly, I had a dream vision. So I had a dream, and the vision in Islam has to, like Islam, the religion, you have to have some rules to be applied to say it's a vision, and it was. I can say it now because it's past, it's long past. But at the moment, I couldn't say it out loud. And in the vision, I saw that my mother will die, which will never happen, and never happened to me ever before to have like such a vision. And I remember the fear I had in the dream, in the vision of my mother's death. Surprisingly, 3 months after my failure in nursing university, my mother has fallen, and she got diagnosed by cancer, by multiple myeloma cancer. Well, now I can say cancer, but if being honest, the moment she got cancer until she died, I have never said cancer in my life. I have never said cancer in my life. And I'm a nursing student. Yes, I say in university, I will never say cancer for my mother. I say she's tired. It helped me mentally because just gave me hope and gave me more power to work and to help my mother anyway. So, I'd say for the next 6 months of that, I almost want to cry again, I swear. But for the next 6 months of that, it was almost blacked out moment of my life, being honest. It was very blacked out moment of my life. I just don't remember nothing, and I do, but it was such a it was, yeah, like just like I described it. It was generally it was a black moment. It was a blacked out moment of my life where I don't know what I was, being honest. It was I don't really know how to describe it. It was a blacked out, very blacked out 6 months. And talking about hope and always thinking that the future will be better. I always thought that my mother will survive. I never had doubt in my life until maybe last month of her life, maybe. I never had doubt that my mother would die. Not even in a billion years. I always said 100% my mother's living. She's living with us. Until the day she dies, she's living. So never think about my mother's gonna die. Which, if, I really don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is what, I've read books about military, and I'm pretty sure they do things like this, where they believe in something, even if it's not true, but it helps them fight. No, that was vague. That was vague. But I really never thought that my mother would die, which helped me a lot. If being honest, if I had thoughts about my mother's gonna die anyway, I can't even. I genuinely can't even imagine that world. But anyways, nevertheless, blacked out 6 months. Then another 4 months of running, and seeing how we can get my mother to Spain. She gets better treatment. So was I. I was applying for my visa at the time. While my mother, anyway, applied for my visa, my mother's visa. My mother got there. And I would say for all those months, it was, I was focused on almost day-to-day life. I wasn't thinking in the future, nor the past, nor I just thinking about the present. Just thinking about what I'm doing right now is all what matters. I don't care about what happens tomorrow or next year. I focus on but because I can't think of the future. I genuinely couldn't think of the future. But anyway. Well, my visa got rejected. I hired a lawyer to be by my side and apply for court for my visa rejection. She got rejected again. And I was selling myself and my mother, which is so emotional. Such an emotional thing to do. Not such an emotional end point, period. I was telling my mother that at any moment I will go to her, and that really helped her at that moment where she was fighting her. I'm not gonna lie, she was very good at the moment. But with time, she lost hope that I would go to her, and anyway, I'm gonna skip this moment. But after my mother's death, well, okay, it's not like I want to skip it, but she came here, she came back, and she died, pretty much. When my mother died, before my mother died, I had this ideas of, I wish if my mother was dead, especially in the last few weeks. And sometimes I was really hoping, and I think that death was better for her than her being alive. For me and for her, honestly. And that what got me thinking today. Well, not today, like half an hour ago. Is this what really I wished death on my mother when she was about to die? It's well, it's such an easy thing to be misinterpreted, but it's not. But anyway. And the reason why I really thought of this is because the difference between last year, between 2024 and 2025, is 200. It's $20. It's 200 Moroccan dirhams. It's $20. I made in 2024 $900, and in 2025 I made $920. And I was thinking to myself, I said, well, there's basically no difference between when my mother was alive and when my mother's not alive. Because half of the year, my mother was dead. But really what I was thinking is when my mother died, I really had very high hopes. I really had very high hopes of the next 6 months of my life. I really had very high hopes. I thought that would be, well, what have I thought? I thought that would be way better. I thought I would have the ultimate bucket 3, have it. But I just thought I would achieve more dreams. Like, I will have freedom and courage to do things, and so surprisingly wrong. And I have even thought that I would travel, well, not the world, but I travel at least Morocco, go to a couple more places. I haven't done that. I thought that at this time I would be in Europe. Well, I'm not in Europe as well. because my visa got rejected again, and actually I got scammed, as my university that I applied in Spain has filed bankruptcy and took all of my money. Yeah. Generally, it's so interesting how every time of my life I think that the future will be better. And I think of the future as not only better, but way better than what it actually is. Well, someone's calling me. Let me see. WhiTeeee. Alô? Alô? Ah, وشا؟ فراك؟ ويلا نجي عندك يلا. Well, anyway, I think it's only fitting to not turn on the light, as the entire vid was pretty much dark, but yeah. And this right here, for good or for the bad, but that was an honest and real. That was honest and real. The most honest and real I've been in the last 6 months, and I might be in the next 6 months as well. I gotta go to my brother. It's snowing, and I have to help him to get to the house. He can't really walk, so